Effectively engaging a multicultural workforce, the keys to successful diversity leadership abstract. This article examines the critical leadership competencies required in today's diverse global workplace, presenting both theoretical foundations and practical applications for effective multicultural team management. It synthesizes research demonstrating how diversity, when properly leveraged through inclusive leadership practices, drives innovation and business success while acknowledging the inherent challenges of cross-cultural collaboration. The article provides evidence-based strategies for leaders to develop cultural awareness, establish inclusive workplace cultures, implement fair policies, capitalize on diverse perspectives, build coalitions across differences, support mentorship programs, address microaggressions, and accommodate diverse work-life needs. Throughout, practical examples illustrate how organizations across sectors have successfully implemented these approaches, ultimately arguing that leaders who can skillfully navigate diversity dynamics through empathy, fairness and commitment to developing all talent position their organizations for competitive advantage in the global economy. As workplaces become increasingly global and multicultural, leading a diverse team has become a core leadership competency. Research shows that diverse perspectives and inclusive environments foster innovation and business success. However, diversity also introduces challenges that require nuanced leadership skills. Today we will examine the research foundation for effective diversity leadership and provides practical strategies and examples for successfully engaging a multicultural workforce. Understanding cultural differences. A key first step for leaders is developing cultural awareness and sensitivity. Leaders must recognize that not all employees think and behave the same due to variances in cultural backgrounds, life experiences, and personal values. Cox and Blake, 1991. Thomas and Ely, 1996. These differences can lead to misunderstandings or perceived unfairness if not properly addressed. Ely and Thomas, 2001. Leaders should educate themselves on the cultural norms and values common to diverse employee groups in their organizations. For example, in some cultures challenging authority openly is disrespectful, while in others it is expected. Leaders who are aware of such nuances can help employees of all backgrounds feel respected and included. The business case for diversity. Leaders should also understand the research establishing diversity as a strategic business asset rather than merely a compliance issue. Studies show diverse teams generally outperform homogeneous ones on creativity and decision-making. Phillips, 2014. When diversity is properly leveraged, it enables access to new markets, enhances customer service and relations, and fosters innovation. Herring, 2009. Richard, 2000. For example, one study found that ethnically diverse product development teams produced more breakthrough ideas than homogeneous ones. Page, 2008. Recognizing these benefits helps leaders garner support for diversity efforts across their organizations. Developing an inclusive culture. Inclusion as a leadership priority. While diversity refers to presence of difference, inclusion refers to the degree that diverse employees feel valued and experience equal access to opportunities and resources. Ferdman and Dean, 2014. Shaw et al., 2011. Research indicates that an inclusive culture, not just a diverse workforce, is needed to realize the benefits of diversity. Nishi, 2013. Roberson, 2006. Leaders must prioritize inclusiveness and model inclusive behaviors to create a psychologically safe environment where all employees feel respected, heard, and able to contribute fully. Dworkman et al., 2016. Nishi, 2013. Communication and transparency. Open communication helps build inclusion and transparency. Leaders should explain organizational goals and decisions, as well as clarify expectations for all employee behaviors. Gelfand et al., 2012. For example, the HR leader of a global technology firm addressed rumors of layoffs by sending a company-wide video message providing transparency on financials and reassurance of job security. Regular, all-hands, meetings skip-level discussions between executives and frontline staff. Anonymous feedback channels also foster two-way dialogue and signal that all voices matter. Ward. 2013. Fair and consistent policies. Inclusion further depends on fair, consistently applied HR policies and equitable access to opportunities regardless of employee attributes. Ferdman and Dean. 2014. Shaw et al. 2011. For policies to be perceived as fair by all cultural groups, leaders must consider input from diverse employees and ensure no inherent biases exist. For example, the healthcare industry often struggles with underrepresentation of racial minorities in leadership. One hospital increased diversity by standardizing interview procedures, mandating diverse panels, and instituting name-blind resume reviews. Sullivan. 2004. Fair processes signal an even playing field for all. Practical strategies for leading diverse teams, capitalizing on diverse perspectives rather than downplaying differences. Leaders should actively seek out diverse opinions and encourage contrasting perspectives. Ely and Thomas. 2001. Horowitz et al. 2013. For instance, leaders can assign devil's advocate roles to prevent certain viewpoints from dominating and open up the debate. Brainstorming meetings could stipulate that ideas not be critiqued for an allotted time. During periodic temperature checks, leaders assess whether certain groups feel less able to freely contribute. Olson and Eong. 2001. Actively drawing out marginalized voices helps ensure better decisions reflecting a variety of constituents. Coalition building. Cross-cultural collaboration occurs more naturally when commonalities are emphasized over perceived divisions. Ely and Thomas. 2001. Horowitz et al. 2013. Leaders can foster cooperation across diverse employees by setting overarching team goals requiring interdependency rather than individual targets that may breed competition. Van Nippenberg and Schippers. 2007. For example, leaders of an advertising agency held a day-long offsite focused on building relationships between newly merged offices through shared visioning and team-building exercises. Such efforts help dissolve us vs. them mentalities amongst diverse groups. Mentorship and sponsorship programs can facilitate inclusion and career progression for underrepresented demographics. Hewlett et al. 2011. For instance, a law firm pairs first-generation professionals and racial minorities with senior-level mentors invested in their success. Mentees gain sponsorship, advice on navigating organizational politics, and role models. Likewise, development program rotations or high-profile project assignments expose high-potential diverse employees to leadership and expand professional networks critical for advancement. Leaders should actively support such initiatives as diversity begets more diversity at higher levels. Addressing microaggressions despite best intentions. Unconscious biases can still undermine inclusion through subtle verbal or non-verbal microaggressions against minority attributes. Su et al. 2007. Leaders need to address even mild offensive remarks or exclusions swiftly and respectfully through coaching or training to send a clear message that all employees deserve an environment free of marginalization. Su. 2010. The leader of a tech startup held mandatory bystander intervention sessions teaching employees to call out microaggressions while preserving working relationships. Nipping subtler exclusionary behaviors in the bud reinforces a zero-tolerance stance on any conduct hindering full participation. Flexibility and work-life support. Empathizing with different life circumstances and balancing professional obligations with cultural, family demands can facilitate inclusion for employees with diverse backgrounds and needs. Kosek et al. 2010. Leaders should support flexibility through policies permitting adjusted hours, remote work, and leaves for cultural, religious observances. Visible reinforcement, such as a leader sharing her struggles juggling eldercare duties and praising flexible arrangements as productivity enhancers, normalizes work-life challenges across genders and cultures. This cultivates understanding that diversity extends beyond surface attributes. Conclusion: as workplaces continue evolving into rich mosaics of people united under a shared organizational mission, diversity leadership will remain a prominent challenge as well as opportunity. Proactively understanding and valuing cultural differences, emphasizing inclusion through transparent communication and equitable systems, and implementing strategies that respect diversity of experiences while fostering collaboration are shown by research to forge high-performing multicultural teams. Leaders able to skillfully navigate these dynamics through empathy, fairness, sensitivity, and a commitment to developing all talent will prove vital assets in competitively positioning organizations for success in today's interdependent global economy. Though diversity provides its challenges, approaches grounded in inclusion research can tap diversity's immense potential to drive business results through enriched perspectives, relationships, and innovation.